What's going on, guys? Welcome to Success Through Failure. I'm here with Nate.
What's going on, guys?
And we are continuing our conversation in how to start a business. The last video, we talked about coming up with the idea. So you're going to make sure and want to watch that. I'll put the link down below somewhere. But today we are talking about execution. The idea is that your business is only going to be as good as the execution. You could have the greatest idea in the world, but without execution, nothing's happening.
Absolutely.
Right? So, Nate, we talked about this in the last video. You've had a lot of experience through all kinds of different businesses. Mm-hmm. How would you approach execution?
Well, the first thing you have to do with anything is you have to, what they say, build a foundation.
Okay.
And just like when you build a house, the first thing you do is you build the foundation which the house is going to sit on. Okay. And that's what you're going to do with your business. Mm-hmm. You have to have a foundation before you start this business and you execute this business. Now, the foundation can be a couple different things. Mm-hmm. One, the business plan.
Okay.
Two, the staff around you. Okay. And then those are your two key things.
Right.
How good is your plan? Like, how much homework have you done already? Mm-hmm. How much education do you have? How much do you know about what you're doing?
Right.
And then, staffing-wise, who is going to help you execute this plan? Is it only going to be you? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be you and your wife? Is it going to be you and your brother? You get the idea. Mm-hmm. And then you have to be real with yourself and say, are you qualified to execute this?
Right.
So you can either get smart, or you can get somebody that is smart.
Right.
Depending on how much capital you have, there's a lot of variables here. And depends a lot on what business you're opening. So we're doing a more general thing, but I can tell you the most important thing is have a strong foundation. Okay. And then obviously do your homework. You can never have too much knowledge. And have the right people around you. Now, the right people around you, let me expand on that a little bit, is obviously them being smart maybe in this field that you're looking to execute. Like, I'll especially do it because I've actually done this myself. Okay, I've opened up a restaurant. Okay, and I can tell you, restaurant business is one of the hardest businesses I've ever done. I had no restaurant experience of opening restaurants, and I felt like the most, and this is about an honest mistake that I've made. I felt like the most important thing for me to do was to hire somebody as my number one guy that I trusted. Like I could trust with money. I could trust with being real. I trusted that we could argue and then get past it. Right. That feelings wouldn't get hurt. That we could talk 100% to each other. And I felt like that was very, very important. Now, all those things are important.
Right.
But neither one of us had restaurant experience. Now, I did a ton of research. You know me. I will go and do the work. That's actually what stuff I enjoy. A lot of people don't enjoy it. But that's, for me, that's more exciting than anything. Like, hey, I just figured this out.
Right.
But what I didn't realize until you get in the game, until the lights turn on and you open up the doors, where I made a mistake is I should have brought in a person with humongous restaurant experience. And instead of worrying about so much about the trust, about the money, and being able to talk to them, whatever, you can implement the trust with the money to where they couldn't steal or whatever through procedures.
Okay. Right.
You know, make your POS system so ironclad. Make sure you're all over about paperwork and the procedures and making it so tight to where there's nowhere a dollar could slide out.
Right.
But instead, I was like, well, we don't have to do that because I trust this guy.
Right.
Looking back, I would have gone with somebody, especially in the restaurant game. Now, it's maybe different depending on what business you're doing. But there's a lot more to running a restaurant than what I had initially thought.
Right.
Like, you know, even with me doing all my information, until the doors got open and until, like, the lights were on, you didn't realize it.
Right.
So, going forward, and one of my other friends opened up a bigger restaurant.
Okay.
And the first thing he did is he went and took somebody from a prominent restaurant and hired them over with him.
Okay.
And he paid them a good amount of money, but he had very little problems because this person knew all the procedures, all the layouts, how it should be done, and everything else, and made it a lot smoother. So I would just say, you know, obviously the foundation, and then the people who you're going to have around you, you know, your staff. You know, you have an idea of who you think is great for this and this and that. And just because you think they're great, I would tell you that, you know, you can't interview or do too much research about who you're going to bring in as your sniper. If it's only going to be you, then obviously you're your own judge.
Right.
But your foundation will be your business plan, how you're going to make money. Make sure you know your process and how you're going to execute things. Right. I'm going to do things this way, which will net me this and will get me this. And have your projections are great. Have projections, but you got to remember they're only projections. You got to do the work to meet those projections. But
nice.
That's I think is the key two things to execution. Okay. And obviously, you need to go to the University of Hustle.
Right.
And you need to check yourself to execute things in your own business. You have to be shameless.
Right.
Oh, I don't want to get my hands dirty because this is all grimy or whatever. I guarantee you, every business owner will do whatever it takes.
Right.
Every successful business owner will do whatever it takes to make his business successful. Now, I'm going to say a little side point to that I've learned over the years. That used to be me. Like, I will do whatever it takes. Your family and your kids, whatever, are more important than your business. So I will throw that one little worry of caution out.
Right.
And it's not just because I have money now and I'm successful now. There was so many times where I put both those things aside. And trust me, your family and your kids and others, you know, if you're religious or whatever, are more important than your business.
Right.
So I will tell you, don't let those things go. But when you're committed to the time you spend committed to your business, you better make sure you're really committed. That means like, scrolling on Instagram is not committed to your business. Kind of like half looking on Facebook, half looking at half thinking about your business isn't committed to your business.
None of the sexy stuff, right? So anything you pretty much want to do, you know,
right?
Because like everybody thinks I'm going to start a business and I'm going to just jump on Instagram, I'm going to post pictures and write cool captions, and I'm going to blow up.
That doesn't happen,
right? You got to do all the groundwork. You got to get your sleeves, pull up your sleeves, and wash the dishes and whatever else. And
I will give you the Instagram secret right now. And I don't even like Instagram. But, because I'm an old guy. But it's, the Instagram secret is easy. If your business is super cool, super successful, and everybody wants a piece of it, they're going to log on to Instagram to go follow you.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have to even look for followers or doing all these crazy hashtags or whatever. Like, I don't think, if you look at businesses with humongous Instagram followings, like Apple's not saying, "Hey, will you follow us on Instagram?" I've never heard them say that. Have you?
Yeah. No,
I never have.
Right. Yeah.
So believe me, if your business is good enough and you have enough hype about you and whatever, and you have the lore to where people want to be a part of it, they will go do it themselves.
Right.
I would focus more on that than focus on, hey, what hashtag will draw people in.
Right. All that stuff helps, but if that's your anchor, if that's what's pulling people in, maybe you should reconsider, your idea.
Right.
Now, so let's say you were going to start your own online business. It's just you. You don't have the overhead to pay employees or whatever else. I've heard somewhere that people don't run businesses; systems run businesses. Right.
Okay.
More or less, and maybe you disagree with that. But the whole idea is people are going to fall short. There's going to be days where you just don't have energy or you're going to be distracted. But if you have systems in place and every day at 9 o'clock, I'm going through and checking my invoices. And then, at 10 o'clock, I'm, fulfilling orders. If there are systems in place, it's easier to stay on track with the execution. Would you agree with that?
1,000%.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that a very big mentor to me, which I'm still learning from, he does this calendar for the whole year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A year at a time. And it's up to the hour.
Wow.
So what happens?
Every hour planned out for a year?
Basically.
That's crazy. Okay.
Basically. So but at the same time, he lays out his calendar for the year. Now, back to what I was saying, he leaves one day every week, pure family day.
Okay.
Will not check email, work email, will not do whatever, one day a week for that.
Okay.
He actually calls it Family Friday.
Okay.
Okay? So he does it on Fridays. Now, what he purposely does is he'll leave hours open.
Okay.
On purpose, because crap will happen.
Right.
And he's going to need to put spots in those things. But like you said, this guy is pretty physically fit. He sets, 8 to 10 to be at the gym every day. Okay. He is not going to do anything else from 8 to 10.
Right.
He's not. And that's why he's very physically fit.
Right.
Same thing, like, he sets up, like, if you have your procedures, like, hey, I'm going to go get these machines set up for my guys, or I'm going to go do this, or, from 10 to 12, he does that.
You're right.
But every day, he leaves little spots open. I think one in the lower in the morning, and one in the later afternoon for, putting out fires.
Right.
Like, oh man, this just happened.
I'm
not saying have every minute taken up.
Right.
But I'm saying have a plan for every single day.
Right.
He plans out his vacations very early on. Now, I'm not saying you need to go fill out your calendar for the whole year.
Right.
But what I am saying is you want to fill it up, like what you said, the systems.
Right.
For all you can. But make sure you leave spots open. Make sure you leave some days open. Because like that way, if you were to get an opportunity and somebody says, hey, I would like to have a meeting with you about your business, and maybe we can, and say it's an awesome thing. You can't be like, well, I'm scheduled for the next year.
Right. Yeah. You're just going to miss out on a bunch of opportunities that were right.
That's why you need to have certain days and certain slots open. When you're like, hey, I have Tuesday at this open, I have Thursday at this open, and I have this one. People are going to be like, whoa, this guy's actually calculated.
Right.
So you may think they may not like that, but no way. They're going to be like, maybe they don't want to wait.
Right.
But saying that, they're like, hey, this guy's very calculated.
Right. And one thing I've learned with successful people, like 95% of the successful people I know, whatever field it is, sports, business, whatever, they're disciplined.
Right.
Right. And so if you're doing business with someone and they seem very disciplined, to me that's a green light where maybe I'd want to deal with this person.
Right, you're stable.
Right.
And you're never going, oh yes.
Yeah.
And you're never like, oh, this sucks. They want very it's business.
Right.
They don't want very emotional.
Right.
Very volatile. Like you're looking for something that's stable, right?
Right.
When you're looking for your spouse, you're looking for somebody who's stable, right? You're not looking for somebody who 1 minute is great and 1 minute they suck, right? You're looking for somebody you can count on. And that's the same thing people are going to look for in business.
Right.
So I can tell you, be organized. Like you said, have a system in place.
Okay.
Obviously have those times like for your family, have those times for free moments, have days where an hours or time where you can add stuff to it.
Right.
And, I'm going to steal again what my mentor tells me. And this person. And it's only say yes to the best.
Yeah.
And no to the rest. If you don't think it's really gonna bump you up or take you to another level, you just have to say no.
If you're on the fence,
just say no, because that means it's not right. And you know what, you could be wrong and you could miss out.
Right.
But what 99% of the time is going to happen, and this has been hard for me to do, because I'm always like, what's the next deal? What's the next, the chase of the deal.
Right.
But the thing for me is 99% of the time, you know what you end up doing one of those things? You end up wasting a whole bunch of time, a bunch of effort. Maybe the things that are already really good, you end up only doing 80% instead of 100% because you're trying to take on all these new little things.
Right.
And they're just all a waste of time.
Yeah.
So unless you have that feeling like, man, this is a slam dunk, this is a home run, like, yes, everything's right, looks great.
Right.
I would say no.
Okay. Yeah.
And people will look at you like, what? You don't want to make money on this? Like, it's just not for me or whatever. Like, I'm just not,
Yeah.
That's what I think, you got to say yes to the best and no to the rest. I think that's a big, big thing. And obviously, but have systems in place.
Right.
Like procedures and stability, like you're talking about.
I would say, sell yourself short, because that was something with me, and what I'm learning right now about myself is I think I'm great, I've got energy, I'm smart, I can do all this stuff, but your day gets away from you really easily. So if you structure it out, you're going to get a lot more stuff done, you're going to be a lot more productive. And there's going to be the days where everything just goes to crap and you're going to have to kind of deviate away from the plan, and that's okay. But as long as you keep coming back to those systems,
absolutely,
you're going to see some success.
Yep.
Right.
And it's not easy, but we're making it sound very easy talking about this. So please don't take anything we're saying like it's going to be that easy. Like
Right.
following that structure and following that schedule is super hard.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Super hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like it may be some things that you put in the schedule you may not like to do.
Right.
You just have to do them.
Right.
And like you said, it takes a lot of discipline. So I'm
Yeah.
just letting you know, it's if we're making it sound easy, it's not.
Right.
And that's normal.
Right.
So if you watch this video and then you go and be like, this is so hard, totally normal.
Right.
But at some point, you will get used to it.
Right. What's it, 30 days to develop a habit?
Yeah, I
Or
think
something,
so.
Something,
Yeah.
whatever. Look it up on, I guess. But yeah, I would say create, little incentives for yourself. If I'm good for this week, I'm going to buy myself,
This, and I can't stress
a new
it.
pair of
It
shoes.
sounds negative, but it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I really...
Even no to yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to say no to a lot of people,
Yeah.
and they may not think like whatever, but it's like one of those things. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, and it's not offending anybody, whatever. But like, if you call up Apple and say, "Hey, I have this flea market. Can I sell your MacBook Pros there?" What are they gonna say?
Yeah. Nope.
No,
Yeah.
because you're not meeting our standards.
Right.
Like it's not the best,
Mm-hmm.
so we're gonna say no.
Yeah.
We're gonna sell them in the Apple Store, and we're gonna sell them at Best Buy.
Right.
And we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't need it. We only want the best.
Right.
You need to follow those companies.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the big car manufacturers. Like, do you see them like selling at little rinky places and like little like whatever? They only do what makes them look very good.
Right.
Everything is set up to make them look very strong, very, very stable.
Right.
You don't walk into a Mercedes dealership and be like, this place looks unstable.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It looks super nice, like, and you never see people going, they're always just like, hi.
Right.
Everything's calm, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think they have stress?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they're perceiving that everything is great.
Right.
There's not a ripple in the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what you have to be real with yourself and be like, wait, all these people are so successful and they're only saying yes to the best. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. And I work on that every day is, you're going to have some friends be like, hey, dude, I got this idea. You'll be like, no.
Right. Yeah.
And they're gonna get mad at you.
Yeah.
But you have to do it.
Yeah.
And if they're your real friends, they're gonna accept you saying no.
Totally. Yeah.
Right.
People get over it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our video on execution and for starting a new business. Be sure to subscribe because we're going over all kinds of different tips and tricks and how to jumpstart your online business.
Can I add one bonus?
Yeah, absolutely.
Execution. I'm gonna say one more thing too is keep it very simple in the beginning.
Okay.
I think a lot of people start new businesses and they want to do we're gonna do this. Just keep it really simple.
Yeah.
Do one thing that this business is that you originally were gonna open this business for, and do it very good.
Yeah. Nice.
Keep it really simple, especially in the beginning.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's the biggest thing I see with small businesses, whether it's restaurants or whatever. Like, we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We serve all this. We serve. You're jack of all trades and a master of nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Be
Less is
an
more.
expert at something. Be an expert at something. I take that just like the In-N-Out burger approach.
Right.
You don't think they couldn't have salads and chicken fingers, and
Right.
you don't think that they could do that? They're
Right.
like this humongous billion-dollar company out here. They're taking over this whole area. You think they couldn't have You think they couldn't have nachos and stuff? Like,
Yeah.
they just stick to what they do,
Right.
and they do it and they do it very well, whether you like it or not. But they do it very, very well.
Right.
As you can see the lines around the building. So
Yeah.
keep it simple.
Awesome. Well, sweet. Well, there you have it, and we'll see you next video. All right. Peace.